You're gonna like it.
Yeah, I'm not like gonna ever be like super competitive, but like
I think you will. I think once you get going with it, you're gonna get into it. Dude.
I know. I always say that, and then once I'm into something, I'm like, "Fuck, let's go." That's my problem. I'm always going, "Hey, you know what? I'll try it out," and then you get into it. I'm like, "Okay, cool, this is fun." And then when I actually do that, they say like, "No, I'll keep it at this." No, I never do. Yep. I always go full boil. I don't know how to stop.
You're a full boil guy.
I am a full boil guy. Hard boiled.
Alrighty. Okay. I am set.
You are set?
I think. Yep.
Yeah. You got to get that last puff in. What? I didn't know what you're doing. And welcome back to Anime Shmanime.
Hello, friends.
What's going on, guys?
We're here.
Yeah, we are here. We were just talking about Yu-Gi-Oh!
Just the two of us.
We can make it if we try.
Just the two of us. Fuck that Jordy guy. Just kidding.
No,
we love you.
I'm not.
No, Jordy's not here, guys, and we're obviously
Again.
sad. But also, Mikey and I are going to come through for you like we always do.
Exactly. But actually, it's. I know that Jordy hasn't been around as often, right? And it's sad.
The Shweebs know.
The Shweebs know. I mean, they lost their star.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah. But I like I said in our last episode that we did together, these are fun.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when we're doing things off screen and talking about these off screen, and trying to make these lists, it's actually it gets tricky.
It does.
Because you figure like, especially after watching as much anime as we have, like. How much do we cater towards our own personal preference, and how much do we cater towards like a general list? And it's
different. You're right, dude.
Yeah.
And I think it's looking different each list we do it, and the difficulty's been a little different each time we do it. Because what I think happens, you guys might disagree with me out there, but like for me, I'm much more picky and particular about what I watch now than I was when I was a kid. You know what I mean? When I was a kid, it was like, I'll eat all of it, please, thank you, yum, 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 yum. And
it's not as readily available, right?
Yeah, so you're more desperate, and you were just, I don't know, like younger, open mind. You just want to see it all, experience it all, get a taste for it all. Now I know what I like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I know what I dislike. I can basically predict going in most of the time if I'm going to enjoy something or not. Just off of watching 3 seconds of it, I can tell. You know what I mean? I'm sure you can as well. Like we're at this age now where we've earned that.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't really lump me in on that though, because it's like, because here's the thing.
I'm not talking about what you're willing to watch. I'm talking about what you actually like.
Okay, yeah. Because
I know you watch everything.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, man, like I grew up like hungry for everything, and the more that came out, the more gluttonous I became.
But like, I feel like you'll finish stuff even if you don't like it.
Yes, I will.
Right? But you still know you don't like it.
Yeah, like right now.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, like right now with this season, I'm watching. Like I got reincarnated as a vending machine.
Oh, I saw that one. Yeah, crazy. I haven't watched it yet, but I saw that it was there. I also saw they made a Nendoroid of it. Yeah. It's just a vending machine with eyes, with anime eyes printed on it. But anyways.
Yeah. Anyway. I really hope to God it's not an Android price though, man. Because
it totally is, dude. Of course it is. Fuck.
Like it's literally just a square box.
I know, but
with, like,
Fridge Kun is gonna be like everybody's favorite character in no time. So
no, like the first I have to say, like, the first episode was hard to get through.
Yeah.
And then, like,
That's what I mean. You knew right away, dude.
It is. It's one of those things. It's like I am just watching this because it is like available right now.
Yeah. But I think what I'm getting at with that is like when we're making our lists, I find we're agreeing more so on like the 90s stuff. You know what I mean? Like it was very easy to come up with that list for us.
Yeah, the 90s was easy because there wasn't nearly as much out there.
That's what I mean. It was at an age where we were hungry. We were impressionable, and our first impression of anime was coming out of those 90s shows. Like both of us, even though I'm a bit younger than you, like it was still the same stuff that we were getting hit with in North America around the same time.
Yes.
And
88 guys, 88.
Yeah. And like, but I'm just saying, I think that leads to us agreeing a lot on those 90s shows because we were getting hit the same way with it.
Yes.
Now we're older. It's more readily available. We know what we like. It's choose your own adventure now.
Yes.
For everybody. Everybody in the world now can really just curate what the fuck they want to watch, exactly what they want to watch, and that's it.
Unless you're a One Piece fan.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I had to.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair, though. You guys deserve that. But like it's going to get harder, I think, as we keep doing these lists and as we get into the more modern age. We're going to have far differing opinions on what the top anime series are from 2010 to 2020.
Yeah.
Because during that decade, I was very much choose your own adventure, dude. And I had very strong opinions developed by that age. So it's different, man, and it's going to get different as we go along. I think this is an interesting decade because we agree on a lot, but then there are still some where I'm like, this is a you one, dude. You talk about it because I didn't get there. I'm not into it or whatever, right? And so we're starting to see that evidence that it's going to get harder as time goes on. We're going to start agreeing on less.
Well, I mean, once we hit 2010s, that'll be really difficult.
That's
this one, it wasn't as hard because, the big three is in there, and we were hungry for it, and there's still a lot of nostalgia, and there was much more readily available.
I was young enough still in the early 2000s as well that I was still like, nom, 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 nom. Like I was still hungry when I was 11.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In 2012 or whatever. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I was still hungry then, just like I was in the 90s.
Yeah, I'm still hungry now.
I know. I know. That's never stopped for you.
No, I'm a glutton.
Yeah.
Especially like the other day when I just ate 5 people worth of food.
Yeah. I cooked for Mikey big time, guys. It was really romantic.
Yeah, it was great. I literally ate an entire pizza plate or pizza pan worth of nachos.
Yeah, it was like a whole bag worth of fucking nachos. Yeah, topped with mountains of shit. Anyways, I'm hungry now. Because we're talking about food, dude. But yeah. Anyways, this was a wild list to pick. I think I'm happy with it. There's only a few moments where I'm going to definitely be passing the mic over to Mikey.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to talk to basically any of these. You guys might hate us for what we picked, as always. I think we kept everything above board. However,
I mean, we did, I think we did kind of pick some of the more popular ones.
Yeah.
Because there are so many out there that should be on this list.
It's legacy, though, man. It's like
it's the legacy. That's right.
We're picking popular ones. They're popular for a reason.
Yeah.
They've stuck around.
Yeah, exactly. It's true.
That's important.
Yeah. You know what it is? What we should do is go through the decades and do underrated animes.
For sure. I think
Top
it's a
10
good idea.
underrated animes.
Or ones that we want the Shweebs to maybe check out that we think maybe they haven't yet.
Yes.
Or something.
Right?
Know?
Like in this particular decade, like Monster. Like there's
Big
so
one.
many people who haven't seen Monster.
Yeah. And it's on a lot of lists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
But I haven't seen it.
Right? Like even when we did the Fooly Cooly episode, right? Like not a lot of people know about Fooly Cooly. It's fucking wild.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah. I think we opened a lot of people's eyes to Asobi Asobase as well.
Yeah.
Because that's one that I think a lot of people would probably gloss over or skip over if they didn't know better.
Yeah. Watch that one high, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or sober.
Actually, yeah.
You know what? You don't need to watch it high. Just watch it sober and you will feel high.
I was about to say it'll make you feel high. Yeah.
Shooting laser beams out of your ass.
But like speaking to us, going for some popular ones, I was talking to Mikey earlier off camera and we were talking about how we always like to make room for some of the really popular ones that got big in North America as well, that maybe people write off or discredit as being too popular or too serialized or too much for kids or too Western, whatever.
Yeah.
And, you know, for our 90s movies one, we went with Pokemon the movie.
Yeah.
Which I was really glad that we gave a shout out to. And for this, you know, Mikey suggested, based on our own recent obsession, that we start the list off with
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Fucking Yu-Gi-Oh, man.
Exodia obliterates!
Blue Eyes White Dragon, burst stream of destruction. Yeah, dude.
The heart of the cards. Also, I just want to let everybody know I dwell in the Shadow Realm. I visit that place often.
We all do.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a dark place of no return.
Yeah, and that's where I like to spend my vacations.
We love Yu-Gi-Oh. I fucking remember when this first hit my eyeballs. It was the cards.
Yeah.
It was the cards that I first found out about, and it was right on the heels of Pokemon cards kind of feeling like, not that they were phasing out, because they definitely never did, but
it felt a little bit more mature because it wasn't like
it was a step up.
Yeah, it wasn't all about cutesy things. You know, you had warriors, you had dragons, you had you had a fucking Egyptian gods, right?
Totally. It felt like it was for a little bit older kids, and it felt like the logical next step, you know? And I actually remember when Pokemon came out, there was no real like organized tournament play for playing Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
It was very little. The only thing that was offered, at least in my area, was in the fucking back storage room of a Toys R Us.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't remember that.
And you went in and it was like fucking picnic tables and just fucking like a bunch of kids playing. And what they would actually do is you had a little stamp book, and if you got a certain amount of victories, you could go for your badge. And they actually gave out little metal fucking lapel pin badges. That was the Boulder badge, the Cascade badge, the whole fucking OG badge system.
Yeah.
I only ever got my Cascade badge, and then they shut it down.
Oh my God. Come on, guys.
I know. So I got my first two badges, but then it shut down, and I can't lie that like it kind of killed a little bit of the interest that I personally had in playing Pokemon cards. It didn't kill my interest in Pokemon.
Yeah.
The Game Boy games and the anime always held my
Game
interest.
Boy games were always my jam.
Yeah. But I remember like, you know, people are stopping with the Pokemon cards, and all of a sudden I start seeing these other cards popping up. Other kids have like, hey, what about, have you guys seen these? These are Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And we're like, what the fuck is that? And then we rush over. We rush over to our local convenience store, buy like 5 packs, rush home, show those cool older kids all the cards we got, and then they start laughing at us because the cards we bought are fake.
Oh yeah, I mean that's always
that was an old school issue that I feel like is less prevalent now, unless you're on fucking AliExpress or Wish,
or
buying your
Wish.
fucking Pokemon cards or Yu-Gi-Oh cards, which you're dumb for doing, but. You could go to your local store and you had no way of knowing, right? Until you showed some kid and he was like, look at this. Look, I have the real one. Here's the real one. Right?
Yeah.
But
I mean, the problem with this stuff now though is like, if you do buy it from Wish, some of them are like fucking like almost like identical.
Well, yeah, the text there. Back then, they looked pretty bad.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I don't know how.
Like it was like card stock, like business card
weird
stock.
gloss and like it was
wasn't
fucked
gloss.
up.
It was like fucking matte finish and like the corners weren't even like rounded.
Yeah.
It was like sharp.
Horrible.
Yeah.
The coloring was all off. It was bad, but it wasn't enough to discourage me from still getting into it. And you know, I still remember going out and getting my Kaiba starter deck.
Yeah.
Of course, because Blue Eyes White Dragon's way cooler than Dark Magician.
I'll agree to that. I mean, that's the first.
Also, Kaiba's way cooler than Yugi.
Yeah.
But you know, it grabbed me from that point on. You know, it had dragons in it. It had fucking reptiles in it and monsters, and my brother got a deck, and we started playing. All the kids in the neighborhood got decks.
Yeah.
Everybody and we weren't playing correct.
No, obviously you just get like whatever rules that you thought you knew from the
show.
show, right?
Yeah. And that's the crazy thing about it too, is that the show wasn't even playing by the rules.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we found this out obviously just recently as we started getting seriously back into actually trying to play Yu-Gi-Oh for real.
Yeah.
That it opened my eyes to like how stupid and immature and like just dumb we were as kids running around like thinking you didn't have to tribute for your summons or set cards or anything like that, right? And
well, I mean, granted, as kids, right? Like you're just trying to have some fun and like feel cool
for sure.
But
for
like
sure.
like recently we've both gotten back into. You've gotten me back into it because you were like, "Hey, man." I started looking at Yu-Gi-Oh cards again.
It's synergistic, right? Because the deeper you get in, I'm like, okay, good. My best bud's into it as well.
Yeah.
I'm safe to also get deeper into it as well because I've got a buddy here.
So you're using me as an enabler.
Yes.
Because, you know for a fact that anything nerdy and shit like this, I'll just naturally get into regardless.
Yep. Pretty much, dude. That's our dynamic, and I'm sticking to it. It works out for us.
It does. It does work out for us. But like,
we're never alone when we're doing our nerdy shit.
Well, it was the same thing. So it was the same thing with Gunpla.
Yeah.
Right? Like when I met Jay, he was like, "Oh yeah, I've been building Gunpla," and I'm like, "Fuck, man, I haven't built one of those in like years, like since I was a kid."
And then how much money did we both collectively drop on Gunpla in the next year after that?
Yeah, holy fuck, I just dropped so much money. God.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It
just snowballed, and then all of a sudden it's like figures again, and then he shows me things like Marvel statues and like,
dude, you're the one that like that takes the little idea I get and you blow it into
like I blow it out of proportion.
You blow it into a real thing. Like you don't half-ass things, Mikey. Everybody knows that about you.
Yeah.
You whole-ass everything. And that's what we love about you. And we hope you never fucking change.
Thank you.
Just like your whole-ass love for all shows, all anime, that insatiable appetite we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. I got a whole lot of ass. I'll show you guys my brown eye.
All right, I'm going to step in now and get us back to talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Real quick. We do got to move on from Yu-Gi-Oh! But like, I just want to say the cards were so important to me as a kid. And the reason that I'm talking so long-winded about that is basically to justify choosing this. Because the show is so bad, dude.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, objectively, at the end of the day, like when you go back and you try to rewatch this, it did not age well at all.
Dude, it's so hard.
It's just all about nostalgia. If you have nostalgia for it, it's the only way it's gonna work.
I did a rewatch fairly recently, actually, and you're so right, dude. It does not hold up. It's so cringe. It's so bad. I will say it's slightly more tolerable watching it subbed because. The dub voices are so like early 2000s, like Western, like fucking, like Joey just always being like, I played the Blue Eyes Red Dragon because I'm Joey Wheeler from New York.
New York.
The Red Eyes Black Dragon, Yugi. Like,
isn't that a Boston accent?
I don't know what it's some vaguely East Coast like American accent that is so fucking heavy-handed. and if you listen to his like his Japanese speaking counterpart, it's a completely normal voice, dude.
Yeah.
They're not throwing it. Yeah. They're not doing anything crazy with it. He just speaks like completely normal Japanese guy.
Which is funny because somebody posted in our Discord, I think it was one of our buddies, a meme that said like, the only reason why you like sub better than dub is because you don't know that the Japanese voice actors are bad.
Well, that definitely is part of it.
Yeah, 100%.
No doubt. It doesn't mean there aren't bad Japanese voice actors. Of course there are. But like it doesn't hold up. The animation's pretty janky, honestly. It's definitely got its own style and its own vibe that they kept through the years that they really stayed true to, and I appreciate that. But it's tough. I would say if I was to make a recommendation to anybody out there, check out some of the movies.
If you want to just like have like a quick night like of popcorn and giggles.
Yeah, there's some guides out there that'll help you pick a good movie. There's one for basically every generation of Yu-Gi-Oh that's come out. If you're old school, new school, whatever. I love it.
Yeah, the thing with I love card games just in general.
Yeah.
Right, that was my problem as soon as you told me because like
Yeah.
if I've ever played any kind of game that had a card game side game in it.
Yeah. You love cards, dude. You collect decks of cards. I'm looking at 800 decks of cards right now, actually. You guys don't know that, but yeah, they're all beautiful. But like, yeah.
But no, like like in Witcher, Gwent was one of them, or like
absolutely.
any of the card games.
Hearthstone from Warcraft.
Yeah, or like any of the Final Fantasy card games, right? Like I loved card games in those things. So it was so natural to also come into this because this kind of feels like a perfect mix between Pokemon cards and Magic cards.
Yeah.
Right? Like you have essentially like this nice blend of like really cool anime cards.
It's why it was created.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy who created Yu-Gi-Oh, like actually created the whole series. It was his take on Magic. He was literally ripping off Magic cards.
Oh, nice.
Spell cards used to be called Magic cards
Oh,
before
okay.
they were called spell cards.
Yeah.
And he was a huge Magic nut.
Yeah.
It was literally him trying to like
Make his own game.
like rip off Magic and like put it through his own lens.
Yeah.
And this is what he came up with. So like,
I mean,
the DNA is
Magic,
there.
Yeah, the Magic community is gonna hate me, but I do think this one's more fun.
I also do, but like this wouldn't exist without Magic.
No, 100%.
You know what I mean?
That is the OG.
But people also people who hate on Yu-Gi-Oh that love Magic gotta understand like this is a love letter to your game that you love
Yes,
so much.
that is
This
very
isn't-
true.
This isn't trying to be better than or take away from it. This was inspired by it.
Yeah.
You know. So
Yeah.
Anyways.
The one thing that I really love about Yu-Gi-Oh over Magic is that Yu-Gi-Oh is so much more fast paced.
Yeah.
Yeah, Magic, you gotta play like those land cards and stuff. But anyway, go fucking play Magic or not Magic. Go play Yu-Gi-Oh.
Let's get out of the weeds now.
Holy fuck, we spend way too much time on Yu-Gi-Oh.
On our 10th pick. Just because we had to justify it.
Yeah.
But this one will be a little less hard to justify, except I hate it. Oh, wait, that's not it.
That's not it.
What did I do?
What'd you do?
I screwed up the
What
order.
the fuck, man?
Hold on.
What?
We're okay.
He's fucked it up real good. Look, guys, if you're watching, you're probably seeing what's happening here.
Yeah.
Jay is doing his thing, but if you're listening, you're just going to be listening to the sound of my voice for the next few seconds.
Okay, forget what I just said about not liking it, because I actually like this one. I forgot what our order was.
there you go.
Yeah, I thought we were doing a different one next, but we're doing this one next, which I like.
Yes,
I like
Gundam
this one.
00.
Yeah. Don't get it twisted. I do like me some 00. I have not finished 00.
Yeah.
I fell off. I was into it. I was getting deep, and then something I can't remember what the fuck happened, but I stopped watching it for.
Well, there's
whatever reason.
Gundam O and then there's Gundam 00, right? Like there's the first season and there's the second season.
Right,
This
right.
is like the end of it. But like, yes. So if you're a Seed fan, like originally we were thinking whether or not we wanted to put Seed in this or if we wanted to put 00 in this, and we went with 00 only because it is the better story. It's not like a chase around, and you also had a very diverse cast too,
Yeah.
right? Like, so you had like, an AI kind of like robot cyborg dude. You had, I think, if I remember correctly, Middle Eastern is the MC, maybe Pakistani specifically. I can't remember, but yeah, and not to mention these fucking suits.
Oh yeah.
These fucking suits. Like, I love the Seed suits, like Justice and all those other suits.
Destiny.
Destiny and what's the other one? The gold one. I love that gold one. Akatsuki. I think.
Akatsuki.
Yeah. But these suits were like one of the first suits that like really got me also thinking about doing Gunpla again.
Yeah.
Right? Because they were just badass. Not to mention, it was one of the only few suits that you could get at a 160 scale that wasn't a perfect grade.
Yeah. That wasn't gonna fucking bankrupt you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I was just reading because I got confused there by the O and 00 thing. The Gundam itself is Gundam O and then 00. The show was always called 00.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. But you start off with the Gundam O, and then it evolves. The
into-
upgrade becomes the 00, right?
Yeah, it turns into like the Quattro or something like that.
Yeah, and then there's also there was also an OVA as well. Yeah, so I'm not a huge.
It's been a minute since I've seen this, man. I
I'm
gotta
not a-
do a rewatch.
I'm not a huge like early 2000s Gundam nut. I love Gundam, so don't get me wrong. I've checked it all out, and I appreciate all of it.
We all know that you love the 2000s for its artwork. It's the best artwork.
Yeah, big step up from the 90s. No, but I love a lot of the designs in Seed. Blitz is one of my absolute favorites. And I love a lot of the designs from here as well. Dynamez is huge. Kyrios is one of my absolute favorites. The designs were fucking awesome. Like, especially for Double O, like I felt like a lot of like Macross design coming in.
Oh yeah, I can see that a little bit.
Like there's a lot of like very, aircraft, jet, Air Force vibes to this one. Not a little less spacey, because obviously it's still very spacey, but like.
Well, there's like with this one too, the power stores. I can't remember what it's called, but like, there's like in some of the scenes, they're not walking; they're just kind of hovering and floating around while they're moving. Yeah. Right, which you don't really see in Gundam. Usually, they're like walking or they're flying. Yeah. That's it. Right.
Yeah. But yeah, like it was. There's just like a maturity to this series, and like the animation style to me was such a massive step up to me over Seed.
Yes.
Like one thing, like I love the mecha designs in Seed. I hated the human designs in Seed.
Yeah, well, I mean, here's the thing. So the Seed thing, not only was the story a little bit kind of bland, but the story is way more complex in this one, and I don't want to spoil it for people, but the characters that are actually in this, as far as like who they are as people, are way more interesting. Yeah. Everybody else was kind of like one note in Seed. Like they had that one note and that was it.
Or they were clones of other characters from like UC.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. So
this felt completely original. Like to me, Seed felt like they were doing like a reimagining and like a recreation of the UC timeline. You know what I mean? Like there's so many parallels. Yeah. Obviously, it's unbelievably different as well. But like at the same time, like you can tell, like this has the DNA of the UC in it. Yeah. This felt like very separate from everything, and it is.
Yeah, it totally is.
It's its own continuity. It's its own universe. But like, Double O really stands on its own. Even the designs really stand on their own. You can look at a Double O suit and immediately know, oh, that's from Double O.
Yeah.
Not to say you can't do that about other series, because you can do that about.
No, but this one specifically, like
IBO is very recognizable as well. But like.
Well, IBO though, so if anybody doesn't know what IBO is, Iron Blood Orphan, IBO had a very like beast-like Gundam, right? Like it was more
like a melee fighter than
melee fighter,
big
like
guns.
Yeah, we're talking like no laser beam like sabers or anything.
Or rainbow wings.
It's a fucking huge mace club
with claws
and
it
shit.
rips you to shreds.
It has a tail.
It's very cool. But that's not in this decade.
Yeah, no, it's not.
But this one,
also go watch that one because that was great.
This one, like, it's just very recognizable, very iconic. I like it basically in every way better than Seed. So
nice.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick.
That's a good. That was a pick for us, really.
Yeah. But
I mean, also we have a lot of other picks for us.
It's one of the better mecha series for sure. For sure.
I mean, most of these. This one's a pick for me, though.
This was the one I thought we were doing last time when I screwed it up. I thought we were going into this because I'm sorry, guys. If you remember our episode, I don't like this show.
So we are talking about Samurai Champloo. So if you know, you know. This fucking anime was one of the coolest animes out there. You don't shut the fuck up, Jay.
No, I don't disagree fully, man. I don't disagree fully.
Yeah, but like it like stylistically, right? Aesthetically, music, conceptually,
undeniable. Music is crazy,
right? Like you. This is the first time you are literally bringing in, feudal Japan and hip hop culture and melding it in a way that, I don't know, just blended in such a cool way that I'd never seen before. Right? Like you have such cool characters, really interesting characters.
It was a game changer for a lot of younger people growing up.
Yeah.
Again, like you said, seeing that mixture. When would you have ever seen that before?
No. Yeah.
Ever.
And I mean, at the time too, like in the early 2000s, I mean 90s too, but hip hop was like getting huge.
Yeah. Pop music was hip hop.
Yeah, at that point, right? Like I think that's when like They would start rapping in pop songs all the time. Like they would always have a rap part.
The biggest artists in the world at the time were like pure hip hop artists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, and it's a cool like, and you guys know me. If you know me, you guys know me. I fucking have like a hard on for anything samurai.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I can't get enough. I don't know what it is about samurai stuff.
Yeah.
Like it just so cool.
Yeah.
But-
This was one that, like, even despite my feelings about it, I had to endorse putting it on the list. You know what I mean? I you guys might hate me for hating on it, but like I definitely felt like it was deserving of a spot.
Yeah.
Like I know I'm in the majority that I just have weird feelings on it. Me and Jordy have weird feelings on it together.
I mean, I can't. Jordy can. I can't trust what Jordy says.
But no, this one is super fucking cool, and I really don't blame you if this is your favorite anime or if this is your favorite one on the list. But yeah, it's it does hit in its own way.
Yeah, and it's a very classic story too, right? Like there's no, as far as story goes, don't think about it being super in depth. There's a lot of good character development. Also, it was kind of progressive too, because we had that one episode where
That's right.
we had a gay European dude.
Yep.
And so like for the time.
Yep.
Right. So it was. I don't know, man. Like if you haven't seen this, y'all need to really go watch this because
Yeah, and then watch our episode on it after.
Yeah, and you guys can berate Jordy and Jay afterwards in the comments.
Or agree with us wholeheartedly.
No, but just go there now and subscribe and like and berate them.
Yeah, that's a good call. I'll take the berating if you like and subscribe.
Yeah, so like and subscribe, do all that good stuff. I love you. Leave a review or a good rating wherever you get your podcasts.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, this one, go watch it.
Yeah.
Definitely very cool.
All right, next up.
Okay, if you haven't heard of this, okay, I will straight up fight you if you haven't heard of this.
Death Note.
Like this is like we're getting to the point where things are getting into like mainstream culture now.
Yes.
Right? Like North American mainstream. Like Death Note isn't even Death Note anymore. Like Death Note is just like people just reference it because they know of it. It's like a household name at this point.
The Simpsons have referenced it.
Yeah, The Simpsons have read. Yeah, right. You have UFC fighters who are like busting out death notes and like writing people's names in it.
Yeah.
Right. Like this has transcended. Granted, I mean the first season was the best one. The second one was, but you cannot deny how good this is because I love that fucking first season, especially how he eats chips.
Constantly eating
chips.
Yeah, I agree, dude. I agree wholeheartedly. This is one that is required watching, in my opinion. You might not come away feeling like it's worthy of maybe all the accolades that it tends to get. I know we definitely didn't find it perfect or infallible. But at the time, it was fucking brilliant.
Yeah,
that's why it blew up into what it did, and like that's why it's stuck around. There have been so many reiterations of it. Every fucking 5 or so years, there's a live action one, or
just watch the anime and only watch the first season. Yeah, don't watch the second one.
But it's
and
a wild
don't watch
ride.
Anything else, but you can read the manga. The manga's great.
Yep.
But
it's a wild ride. It's well worth watching. I've watched all of it, and I think if you get to the end of the show and you are really happy with what you just saw, and you're really desperate and dying for more, check out the remaining 10 episodes of a second season that there is. It's one of those things, guys, that it's like if you want it, go for it. It's only 10 episodes. Yeah. But if you don't, and you are kind of just satisfied with where it ends, who cares? It was only 10 episodes, and they're not that good. They're not that good. So it's like if you're desperate and you want it, go for it, but you're not missing out on much if you just watch that original, 25, 26, and then just call it a day on the other 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely Kira. I'm God.
Yeah,
I play God.
The one thing I will say to this is like I really wish we had gotten some more like Shikigami Demon Realm.
Oh, that would have been
drama.
Cool. Yeah,
they were really building up to some like interpersonal shit between the Shikigamis and you know, in that world, and we just never got there. And damn, that would have been cool, man.
Well, I mean, there's a theory that Kira does turn into a Shikigami.
Yeah.
Yeah, a fan theory.
But I don't even want to give that credence because now I want to see it, and now I never will. So it's just annoying to me.
That's very true. That is also very true. I mean, we could probably go find some fanfic out there, but...
Yeah, but then you got to be careful because you're going to come across some other fanfic.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, where Kira's eating an apple out of Ryuk's ass or something like that, you know?
Right? A whole ass. getting an apple out of that brown eye.
Speaking of brown eyes.
There's no brown eyes with this.
Some of the outfits, you almost see a brown eye.
That's true, though. This one is fucking... has to be up there for Jay and I because this has my waifu in it.
This is like possibly a top 5 all-time anime for me, like period.
This is probably one of my like top comfort animes of all time.
Gurren Lagann.
The complexity of this story and where it takes you, you do not see it coming.
Yeah.
You fucking like pieces of shit, just go watch this if you haven't.
It's guys, this is the, you know, the Trigger team basically.
I think this Trigger's like between this and Kill la Kill, I feel like this is like their flagships.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, like, this was when those guys were still at Gainax.
Yeah.
So it doesn't get the Trigger label always.
I guess
but
that's true.
it's the duo. It's the guys who went on to do Trigger.
Yeah.
Them doing pure Trigger shit. Yeah. So in every way but name, this is Trigger, and I agree, man. To me, it's their flagship. It's their most iconic. It's arguably one of the most iconic mecha animes of all time. More popular and iconic than many of the Gundam series that have come out. And when we would always talk about Trigger and their series and their stories, I always talk about like the Russian nesting doll analogy.
Yeah.
And this, guys, is where that analogy first kind of hit me. Because without spoiling anything, you know, the last like 4 or 5 episodes of this fucking show, they make you realize that you're inside of a Russian nesting doll.
Yeah.
And that they can just keep on expanding and expanding and expanding, bigger and bigger and bigger. And you're just like, oh my God, my brain can't handle this. When will it stop? But what's so amazing is that it's not just silly, fooly-cooly levels of like insanity
or action.
No, as they're leveling up the scale of everything that's happening, they're also leveling up the emotional weight.
But yes, that's the thing.
And by the end, you're bawling your eyes out. I cry my fucking eyes out at the end of this fucking show.
This is the thing. The fucking character development in this anime. So this is like, if you're not into mech anime, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you can just get over the fact that there's mech in it and people are fighting and it has that shonen thing going on, the story, the character development, how you get invested in these characters and what they go through and how they grow is fucking wild.
This is fun, goofy, silly, heartwarming mecha. This isn't dark, cold, militaristic, you know.
This is not fun, goofy shit. What are you talking about? This is
it's very fun and
okay.
goofy.
Yes, it is when they're fighting each other. When it's fun and goofy, but like
it gets serious,
once
obviously.
You get serious,
but I'm talking about you compare that to something like Pat Labor or like fucking, like Stardust Memory, where it's like they're going for a very militaristic, like realistic, just done in anime vibe. This is Trigger silliness, dude. Yeah. Like the robots have faces, you know what I mean? Like on their chests, and their bodies are made out of a giant face head.
Yeah,
it's
and
like
sunglasses.
He wears sunglasses.
Giant
pointy sunglasses.
Yeah, that's his weapon. His fucking boomerang.
This is what I mean. Like this is not like your typical sterile, militaristic, you know, brooding mecha. This is a vibrant, exciting, exhilarating, fun. And sometimes definitely goofy and silly mecha.
It's true. You know what?
You can do it.
It is very Kill la Kill in that same way too, right? Because it's those same guys. And they give you a roller coaster ride of fun, goofy with heartwarming and heart wrenching.
Yes.
Right. Like, and it just that. Like, I think anytime you can get that in any kind of series, it's good writing to me.
It is
where you can, it gives you all the spectrums of emotions, and it'll balance it all out, and it keeps you engaged.
It does. Yeah, it's integral to this. Man.
Yes.
If this tried to be too serious, and it didn't have that like fun whimsy to it, like it wouldn't feel the same, man.
Yeah. It totally makes you horny too, which is crazy.
Yeah, because fucking Kamina is so hot.
Yeah.
Because his abs are so killer,
Yeah,
wrapped up like
exactly.
that, and his sunglasses look so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on. Anyways, guys, seriously, do yourself a favor if you have not fucking seen Gurren Lagann.
Yeah.
Absolutely go watch it. It has rewatch value.
Yes.
I can almost promise you it won't be the only time you watch it.
Yeah. I don't know if did we put Code Geass on this list?
No. We talked about it.
Yeah, we talked about it. So just honorable mention. So if you're looking for something not as like wildly goofy, Code Geass is another amazing one from this decade.
Totally.
Right?
Totally.
So it has one of the best endings.
Yeah.
Go watch that one.
Really cool,
Yeah,
dark,
honorable mention.
dark sci-fi fantasy mech kind of action in that one, and character designs by Clamp.
Yeah.
So like fucking awesome.
I mean, if Clamp had a chokehold on you back then,
Yeah.
it probably still has a chokehold on you now.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, go watch that one too.
Yeah.
All right, next up, dude.
Ooh, Inuyasha.
My darling.
My darling.
This one almost feels like a me pick because I know you don't love this show.
You know what it is? I have nostalgia for it.
Yeah.
But it's not because I love the more roller coaster rides of things and like things that are a little bit more wild. Like this one is a bit more predictable.
It is totally.
Yeah, but it is one of those, animes that I have tons of nostalgia for. Like I'm always gonna know fucking like what Inuyasha and Kagome sounds like, and like Sip Boy, like
Iron Reaver Soul Stealer.
Like I mean, I say that all the time on this.
Almost every episode, you fucking say it, dude. No, I mean this one, this is one of those ones where I could definitely understand if people didn't feel super strongly about it, especially if you happen to watch it, later on, or you come to it. Nowadays, it might feel a little generic. It might feel a little samey or a little serialized, a little Monster of the Weeky.
But aside from that, though, honestly, the animation and some of the pacing with it actually holds up quite well.
So the character designs, I think, as well.
Right? Like, I feel like when I did a little bit of the rewatch for our episode, I think last year, I was surprised at how well the pacing still kept up, even for a Monster of the Week. I mean, granted, you are getting into a Monster of the Week kind of show. But, I was like, because normally these kinds of shows just like, they're just so laggy. Yeah. But this one, I was like surprised. I was like pleasantly surprised.
Yep. I mean,
I could be looking at it with the nostalgic lens, right?
For sure. And I have to address that I dedefinitely am. Like it was important, at a time where I was at my hungriest for anime, like I was saying, and it was a little bit more mature than a lot of what the other things that were on as well. Like a little bit, not a ton. But, people were getting shot with arrows, and people were bleeding, and people were dying, and there were zombies and corpses, and
people were getting eaten.
There was a centipede lady with like titties with no nipples, and it was like really crazy.
See, I wish they kept up with how dark it was at the beginning.
I know.
Because that shit, like that first few 10 episodes was
scary.
It had a tone to it, and then they serialized it, and then it was like, they kind of sucked the soul out of it a little bit. I mean, granted, that's kind of appropriate for the style, for this anime.
But it's endured. The legacy continued, and now we have Yashahime, which is doing fairly well as well, and you have a lot of return characters there. So it's one that I would consider required watching. A lot of people might disagree with that, but if you're into shonen, absolutely required watching. If you're into 90s anime, absolutely required watching. If you like feudal Japan demon, kind of shit, absolutely required watching. You won't be disappointed, and it's one of those ones that if you don't make it to the end, it's not a fucking huge deal. The ending's cool, it's fine, but they kind of botch some aspects of it, and it's like,
go read the manga.
The heart and soul of this show, dude, is in my opinion the first half is where all the great shit happens, all the most the best character development happens, long before they ever get to Naraku. But anyways, I love Inuyasha. Sesshomaru is my fucking boo. So,
Full Metal Alchemist.
dude.
Full Metal Alchemist.
So here's one where I'm going to pass the mic to Mikey.
Yeah.
Not because I don't respect the shit out of Full Metal. You might think I don't based on the fact that I still haven't watched it.
Yeah, give him shit, guys. Give him shit. Seriously.
if you guys
like,
really-
fucking, how long has it been, man?
Hey, if you guys really want me to watch it, then please overwhelmingly suggest that we cover it for an
Yes.
episode, and then I'll have to watch it.
Exactly.
Right?
Because sometimes these guys choose not to listen to me.
But what's also crazy is this is one Jordy's actually seen that I haven't.
Yeah, this is one of the few that Jordy's watched that he
Yeah.
hasn't watched, and he's actually watched both of them too. So the first run and Brotherhood.
Yes. So this
Right.
was the first run was an early 2000s. Very easy within our window. Brotherhood was like right at the fucking tail end. I think it was
Yes.
like 2009 into 2010ish. Let me double check that. But like, it's a remake of basically the same show.
No,
right?
so what happened was that the first one they did a anime original ending.
Okay.
To close it off.
Yeah, Brotherhood started 2009.
2000. Perfect. This still counts, guys.
Still counts.
So, but Brotherhood is the one that you want to watch.
Yeah.
Right? Because that one actually followed the manga.
Right.
Right. And so this.
It was like a second kick at the can for them, right?
Yeah. So to me, this has like big three iconic status. Like, I mean, the big three is the big three regardless, but like this to me, as far as story, character development, and what they fucking went through, granted, Naruto is amazing and I love Naruto, but this one still speaks to me way more than Naruto does. Like, you've got people fucking like losing their arms and their entire body, right? Like shit like
Yeah.
that. Like, honestly, this is another one that it's like Death Note. It's a household name at this point. If you haven't watched this,
Yeah.
you don't know anime culture.
Yeah.
You really don't.
This is getting referenced well outside of anime
Yeah.
culture now.
Right? Like they've had so many different adaptations. Like they have the live action adaptations, and you guys know how I feel about them, but that's
loves
besides
them.
the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is, two brothers who tried to bring their mother back, and they just go on this search to figure out how to get their bodies back because essentially they fucked up the little spell that they did. It's alchemy, if we want
Yeah.
to get specific.
Yeah.
But equivalent exchange. But yeah,
Listen,
this is
they're iconic characters, man. Like the designs of them are like, like they're timeless, and you might not know their names. You might not be able to tell what their backstory is, but like in my opinion, if you watch anime for any period of time, you'll recognize the faces on our screen right now.
Yeah.
And you'll recognize the faces you see if you type in Full Metal Alchemist on Google.
Yeah.
You know this fucking show.
Not to mention, you'll also know Show Tucker is one of the fucking,
If you've done any digging on like fucked up anime shit,
Yeah,
or
like-
like insane moments in anime.
Yeah, well, yeah. This, especially at this age too, when we were watching this as this was coming out, like, because in the first series when it had the original anime ending, like that was still part of that first series, right?
Yeah.
That was pretty early on, right? So you still, like, as a kid, you're watching this shit and you're like, holy fuck, this is intense, and then holy fuck, this guy's really fucked up, like really fucked up,
Yeah.
right? And as a kid, you're almost having like vicarious trauma, right?
Yeah.
Because these guys have gone through so much trauma, and they're just trekking along.
Yep.
Right. So go watch this one. If you don't, we're not friends.
Oh fuck! Mikey's throwing it down.
Yeah.
Me and Mikey aren't friends anymore.
Yeah,
clearly.
exactly.
Unless I go home right now and watch this.
Yeah. This is totally directed to Jay.
Well,
So I would put this, honestly, if it had my way.
this is your favorite anime of the 2000s? Early
Yeah,
2000s?
I think this would be one of the most impactful ones for me.
Yeah.
100%.
You'd put this at number one if you could?
Yeah, or very close to.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's wild, dude.
Yeah.
That's wild. All right. I'm going to watch it, I promise.
Fucking better.
All right. Let's piss some people off.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
We are into our top three, a.k.a.
the big three. So,
Um,
yeah.
We had to. You guys might be groaning, but we're just going to throw our hats into the pool of lists that end with these three. The order might be a little different than some of those lists, but that's just because neither Mikey and I are huge One Piece guys.
No. Well, I liked One Piece. I remember watching it as a kid growing up, and I remember a bunch of it, and even now, like, the thing is, yes, I know it's more than just pirates, guys. I know it's fucking more than just pirates. I know the story.
Yep.
And I get all the references when I go online, but it just never spoke to me in that same way. And this is the thing about fandoms, right? Fandoms are fucking crazy. And I know you guys are fucking crazy out there. Like, we're all fucking crazy. The One Piece fandom is absolutely wild. And they will die on their hill that this is the best anime of all times. Like, of all times, arguably of all times. And it should be number one. I disagree. But I do agree that because of the popularity and that it, has lasted the longest out of anything, really, and is still continuing to this day, right? It has
Season
the
20.
legacy, the legacy and the legendary status. Yeah. But again, it's more so personal preference.
Yeah. And also just want to quickly address, we know this started airing on October 20th, 1999. But that's the very tail end of 1999. Okay, this made its primary introduction to the world
impact,
in the 2000s. Okay, that's where it got its momentum. That's where it kind of got going. Not to say that it didn't have momentum from the manga alone. The manga was very successful, but yeah, the anime itself starts a little slow, I would say. This is something that I've recently made an attempt at getting into, both reading the manga and watching the anime. Just in the last couple months, actually. And I will say, it's something you got to really be committed to and really, really want to get into. Yeah. Because the first little bit doesn't do a lot of favors for people that aren't really into it.
Well, I mean, you are getting 90s like style and pacing.
Yes.
It does get a lot better as it goes on. The pacing gets better. The storytelling gets better.
The characters get better. Everything
gets better. Everything gets better.
Right.
Right. And even animation gets better.
But you're in for the long haul.
But
big time.
you got to invest in it. This is an investment, guys. This is a long-term investment.
And
this
what's crazy though is anybody I've ever spoken to regarding whether or not that investment is worth it says yes.
Yeah. I mean, once you reach the end, or like once you're not the end, but like, when you're up to date, everybody says it is
well worth it.
Well worth it.
They have no regrets about doing it.
You know what though? Okay. I'm going to just put it out there. I feel like that's their way of justifying spending all that time.
Some people are probably doing that.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Like some people, like, for example, like, you go to school for something, right? Like you major in something and then you will like argue it to the death because you spent all this money and time into it, but then something disproves it. And then you can't accept that, right? Yeah. So it's kind of the same idea for some people. But
I don't think that that's necessarily true here. I'm sure it could be. I'm sure there are definitely people out there it's just copium. But the numbers don't lie here. This one's undeniable, guys, and I can already tell just getting my foot in the door a little bit that I am going to be rewarded for sure.
Yeah.
I would actually recommend though, like as much as we're singing the praises for the anime, read the manga for a bit and then jump into the anime, because the first like bit of the anime compared to the first bit of the manga is night and day. Yeah. Better in the manga.
Yeah.
The character development you get, even for Luffy, like right out of the fucking bat, like right from the top, your main character has so much more depth in the manga than you get out of the TV show. Yeah. You really care about him from the get-go, whereas in the TV show, it's like, all right, like when do I like this guy more?
Yeah, but we've had this conversation where sometimes we just don't like the MC as much as we like some of the other characters,
That's true.
right?
That's true.
Like I said, man, like even though I'm not as into this, I do have some figures, or like I got some pop figures of them, but also, I mean, any of these long serialized animes, you guys can always skip the fillers.
Totally.
If you wanted to.
Totally.
Right. And at this point, again, we're on the big three now. Yeah. And they're all household names at this point.
Yeah.
Right.
So. We might not be able to speak perfectly to this one, but there was no way we weren't going to put it in the top three. Like there's just pure respect.
I mean, they're a big three for a reason.
Yep.
Yeah.
Speaking of the next one,
Bleach. Yes.
Bleach. Bleach.
Black.
Yeah, I love. I love me some Bleach. Bleach.
I'm fucking loving Bleach right now because
Yeah, if you're a
Blood
Bleach fan,
War is happening right now.
the Renaissance is at hand.
Yeah, guys, like the animation that they fucking are doing for that right now, like the second core that's happening. Oh, so good.
Yeah, it's Budget City.
It's Budget City. It's just so crisp.
You know, Bleach was another one, dude, that like I would say I got to way late in life. I knew it was big when I was younger. I knew some people that were into it. It didn't seem as available to watch in North America.
Oh,
Like I don't remember. I don't remember where it was placed on the Toonami block. If it was,
I remember watching it on YTV.
I don't remember ever seeing it like from my childhood on TV. Now it could have been, and I just skipped over it. What I will
Or Fox Kids.
possibly, that's what I mean, right? Like I don't know where it landed.
Yeah.
I will say though, also I wasn't crazy about the animation style in Bleach when I was younger. My taste definitely evolved over time. And now it's one of those things where like I can't comprehend how I looked at this show and thought it didn't look good. Like I'm like, how did I think this was ugly? Now, granted, some of the animation in like the first like 25-ish episodes.
Yeah, the first season, like you get the again
Lower
it's
budget.
the lower budget,
Yeah.
right? Like as soon as it gets going, it gets higher budget, and like the character.
But you
designs
start
are
getting
cooler.
into episodes 40s, 50s, 60s, you know, Soul Society kind of time.
Dude, even further. Soul Society actually is one of my favorite arcs.
I'm just saying, like that.
Yeah.
That to me is when this show steps up
Yeah.
into a league of its own.
Yeah.
Animation quality wise, where I think that was when it hit me, where I'm just like, this is one of the best animes I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Visually. How could I ever have thought that this was a lackluster visual work?
Oh,
it,
dude.
it blows my mind now. And then yeah, also knowing like 1000 Year Blood War is getting the same type of praise, but in 2023 is staggering. Considering what we're capable of now in 2023, some of the shows that exist now, the fact that people are still being like, 1000 Year Blood War is the best looking fucking anime I've ever seen. That's a high bar.
Yeah, dude, it is. It is honestly like right now that one of those like the first. Gosh, can't even name the fucking fight scenes, man. Like or a specific one. Right, like you watching the captains fight just in general is fucking sweet.
Yeah, it's electrifying.
Right, like this is your basic shonen, but at the same time, I don't know. There are some more complexities to it, which is really cool. That I really like.
There's a lot of unique shit going on with Bleach that you don't see in a lot of the other ones. At least at the time, you've seen it now because everybody's kind of piggybacking on it. Anybody that's into Jujutsu Kaisen, this is why you have your favorite show. Okay?
Yeah.
Akutami has said on countless times that without Tite Kubo's work on Bleach, there would be no Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yes.
It is in so many ways almost a 1-to-1 fucking clone.
A lot.
In a lot of ways, where it's just like direct fucking rip, and you know, and other ways obviously vastly different. But like,
Well, I mean, Orihime is one of them because she's just like Sakura and kind of useless.
But
Well,
like-
I mean, she's useless, but not useless. She has healing powers, so it's kind of. Anyway,
But,
I'm gonna get shit for that one.
but just like, you know, dealing with like, you know, the cursed kind of energy and like the hollow powers and like, you know, that kind of thing. Like there's a lot there. You know, there's a lot of otherworldly kind of conversations going on.
And the bankais are cool transformations.
Absolutely.
Right,
you
like
know?
they're just it's like your Zenpakuto is like which is your weapon has its own soul and like it's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it gives you like high school, like shonen, shoujo vibes at other times as well. You get cute little romances mixed in. You know, and then if this great main cast of characters isn't enough to satisfy you guys like fucking Chad, you know, then you get obviously eventually, spoiler alert, you get introduced to like this crazy cast of captains that is basically just like a choose your own favorite character like mashup. It's just like there's something for everybody in the cast of captains.
It's not even just the captains too. It's some of the other like lieutenants.
Right? Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
for sure. But there's something for everybody in this, and Bleach fans that I know range everybody from sadistic, evil motherfuckers like Mikey, who like the darkest, most twisted shit of all time.
It's the only way I can get serotonin.
to people that I know watch almost exclusively shoujo and magical girl and stuff. Also love Bleach. So like, there's something for everybody.
Yes.
And absolutely deserving of the top 3 spot. When I was younger, I would have maybe swapped this one out for Dragon Ball Z when I was thinking of the big 3. But
technically it's not.
I know. And nowadays, like I don't question it. I'm like, this is the big 3. This deserves the spot, and there's zero questioning for me anymore.
Yeah, because I think it was just mainly because of the era. But if Dragon Ball came out around this era, because it came out the decade before,
right? But it was. But like it was still in the zeitgeist. It was still in the popular sphere. Dragon Ball was still massive. There were movies coming out. Even Kai started in 2009.
Yeah, that's true.
So like it could technically be counted, right?
Yeah.
But like either way, if you're talking legacy, growing up, Dragon Ball felt bigger than Bleach. And
I think it still is, to be honest.
I agree.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that. But if we're talking about like the 3 that were airing together basically at the same time, getting their same momentum going, that same first push at the same time, it's these 3 unquestionably.
Yeah.
And to round out the final one of the top 3,
obviously Naruto. Of course we're gonna do Naruto.
We can finally talk about Naruto on one of our lists.
Like not to mention, because
we haven't done an episode on it.
We haven't done an episode on it. I mean, granted, we plan on doing it like, because we're gonna finish off Dragon Ball soon, and we're probably gonna do Bleach because it's a little shorter.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, Naruto's probably going to come after Bleach for us as far as doing episodes on.
Yeah.
Because that one has a crazy legacy.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So here's the thing. So you've only watched Naruto. You haven't watched Naruto Shippuden either, right?
Correct. I believe Naruto Shippuden. Actually, it did start.
Yeah.
It did start in the 2000s.
All right, guys, give him shit.
2007.
2007, yes.
In my head, I thought it was post 2010, but yeah, no, started in 2007.
But yeah, man, this fucking anime. Oh my god, it has such a like sweet place in my heart. Okay, so here's the thing. Listen. I know I said I would probably put Full Metal like at the top, like up there. It would be up there. You know what I would do, actually? This is how I would rank it. I would put Naruto, Full Metal, Bleach in that order, right? So Naruto being the top. Naruto's like another like fucking household name at this point. I mean, all the big 3 is. But the roller coaster ride and the nostalgia that I have for Naruto, like all those characters and some of the crazy shit that happened, and like the first time you start crying over shit, right? And the only reason why I appreciate Full Metal more than Naruto is because it is darker in some places.
Sure.
Right? Like, I mean, a little bit more twisted, but
apparently the Naruto manga is a little darker and more twisted than we got in the anime.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the other thing too is like Naruto had so many fucking fillers, and same with Bleach. Bleach actually had crazy amount of fillers.
Oh,
Bleach
had seasons of it.
Yeah, Bleach had 70% of the entire series was filler. Yeah, which is crazy to me, like more than half.
Yeah.
But Naruto, like this one, I remember watching it as a kid and thinking, man, first time I'm seeing cool ninja kids, and I want to be a ninja kid, and I want to be from Hidden Leaf, and then you got your emo kid, you got your fucking bright-eyed, bushy-tailed kid, literally, right? And then you have Sakura. But
no, you got it's such a huge cast, man. Yeah. Like it's definitely one of those shows where like my top 10 favorite characters are like not even on the screen.
I know, I know. Like Kakashi's a fan favorite. I know that
for sure, and I love Kakashi. And maybe not 10, but I'm just saying like, this has again something for everybody.
Yeah.
everybody gets a great arc. Everybody gets backing story and an important thing that they do. Everybody is integral. You know, like everybody gets their due time. And of course, you can do that when you run for as long as Naruto ran, and you can spend that time on it. But this is one that I think is worth it. It rewards you. You know what I mean? Like fucking dude, Gaara's story, like
Gaara is badass.
His backstory and like where he came from and like his whole childhood and all that is like incredible. And you get that like early on in Naruto. Like you don't have to wait long before they start giving you the goods.
Well, I mean, even the guy, or no, not the Rock Lee and Gaara fight, right? Like
incredible.
I keep saying guy, Rock, like when he takes off his weight and
Legendary,
right? Like I love that shit. Like oh man,
the tuning exams are incredible, man. Like the fucking the standoff with Orochimaru and the fucking Hokage, like it's so tense, man. And like this
Naruto
is early.
coming up and just fucking uppercutting Neji.
Oh, dude, crazy. Yeah, absolutely massive.
And later on in Shippuden when you like people start dying off.
Yeah,
right.
Real death.
Permadeath. Yeah, permadeath.
Yeah.
Right, like so good.
And it's just, you know, guys, how many times have you heard people reference Naruto outside of fucking the realm of anime?
Yeah,
Naruto running. How many people showed up to Area 51?
The one kid did. There's one kid who did, apparently.
A bunch of people did, dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there were like over 100 people Naruto running at Area 51.
Oh my god! I only saw the one picture of the one dude saying you fucking did it.
A bunch of people showed up. This is what I mean. This show is like it's absolutely transcendent. You know, and
well, because like think about how this ended. Like Shippuden ended like years ago, and we've already gone through so many years of Boruto.
Yeah, they're about to do Boruto Shippuden now.
Yeah, right. And so like, you know, but people still want more Naruto than they want Boruto, right?
Sure.
Like people are still cosplaying Naruto characters, not
far more.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
right. You know what I mean?
It has never even come close to approaching what Naruto did.
Yeah.
And it couldn't, and it's because what Naruto did was like not unprecedented, but it was very important and it was very impactful. You know, it was one that years before I even started watching it, I knew about it. I knew characters' names. I could see somebody wearing one of those headbands, and I knew that it was Naruto. Like I knew all of that stuff. It was right next to Digimon and Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z and all of those shows. It's just as important, easily, and in my opinion, actually better than a lot of them. If you really stick through it and really get into
especially
the nitty-gritty.
if you go through Shippuden, because I know you haven't seen Shippuden, but
I know it's only going to get better.
Yeah, that is the meat of it.
Yeah.
That is where the real shit happens. I
know.
Like this is a great introductory Naruto, like obviously because they're kids and whatnot. But Shippuden, so much stuff happens. Oh, there's just I could equate the entire series, going through the entire series. And there's this one scene in Shippuden, and the
That just eclipses it all.
Well, for me, because it was like, because you know cool shit's gonna happen and cool fights are gonna happen.
Yeah.
But there's just this one scene that really made me come out of my seat.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And if y'all know, it's about with Guy Sensei, and it's like I get chills thinking about
That's
that.
sick, dude.
Yeah.
That's a good sign.
Yeah.
It's a good thing we got our fucking top of our list is given chills.
Yeah.
That's a good sign.
You know, it's the whole entire series is great for that one scene.
Absolutely.
I mean, obviously not, but like, you know what I mean?
It's worth it. Stick around till that scene at least.
Yeah. Also, skip the fillers. I watched the fillers, but skip the fillers. Honestly, there's an entire like filler arc of like ninjas you just don't care about.
Yeah.
That aren't even the MCs or any of the people that are from the cast.
I cringe.
Yeah.
Those chills just went away.
Yeah. But I mean, again, that's how it is with serialized anime. We all know that.
Yeah. But dude, that's a fucking solid list, man.
That is a list. Tell me what you guys think, guys.
I don't know if people will be mad at that list.
Yeah, for real.
Maybe some of our early picks you guys are laughing at, but like, come on.
Yeah,
finishing with a big three. You guys can't argue with us.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we also have to consider legacy.
Yeah.
Right. We have to consider impact, legacy.
Yeah.
Being a household name.
Yep.
That's my word for today. Household name. That's not just one word, but It's my word.
I like it. Fuck yeah, dude. That was fun.
That was fun.
Another fun one.
Another fun one.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man. All right, buds. Jay, where can people find you?
You can find me poking around the Discord sometimes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. And you guys can find me on TikTok at Shmanime Pod, on Instagram and the Discord. Come hang out.
Fuck yeah.
Love you guys. Bye.
See ya.